Okay, this is take two. We're doing a new YouTube video about the current labor shortage here in the United States of America, especially here in the Ozarks. This is a nationwide trend that's happening, and I'm going to outlaw some reasons why we are having such a labor shortage. I'm also going to explain later on in the video how it could affect the dating market. If you are a young single man, why women will not be interested in dating men. I mean, there could be a tie-in here, and we're going to explain what that is later on. But first half of this video, we're going to explain the reasons for the labor shortage. And reason number one, let's get right into it, folks. I got my friend Sandra. She's in the background. Say hello to everybody, Sandra.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So we're going to get right into it. If there's a little bit of an echo, that's because we're doing this from the tablet, which has got a $30 microphone attached to it. But as soon as I get my new TV studios set up, we're going to have an improved quality. Because in the first setting, I said, there's a little bit of an echo here. But at least you can hear me. It's very audible, loud and clear. Awesome. So, the first reason we have this labor shortage that we have, number one, is the stimulus. Too much stimulus. Not one, two, but 3 stimulus checks. So why should people get out and work when they can sit at home and collect stimulus money? The first one was 12, the second one was 6, and this one is 14. Altogether, that's $3,200. I mean, that's enough to sit at home for at least a couple of months and do nothing.
That's quite a chunk of money.
It's not a bad chunk of money. You're right. But that's the first problem that we're having. The first cause of the labor shortage is too much money chasing too few goods and services. And what that's going to create, folks, is that's going to create inflation. If you don't believe me, have you been to the grocery store lately? Look at the housing market. I have a friend who works for a local car company here in Springfield, Youngblood Motors, and he was telling me that they can't sell used cars fast enough. They're going just like that. And I'm going, well, that's incredible. And he said, yeah, business is great. And so he is confirming what's happening in the car industry, what's happening in the home loans, what's happening in the real estate market, on the residential end anyways, is people are paying above asking price. Why would you do that? Who in their right mind would pay above the asking price only to find themselves underwater later on?
Yep, living above their means.
Exactly. This is crazy. Crazy. Affordable housing is going out the door, basically, because higher minimum wage means higher prices. You should be glad the minimum wage is going up, because if it hadn't, employers would have raised it anyway, with or without the government, because they need to get workers in the door, period. So without the government's interference in the minimum wage, it would have gone up naturally on its own. I think the minimum wage law is out of date. We are living in a global economy. You need to start thinking that way. You are now competing with workers from all over the world just to have a job. That is a fact. The dating market is no different. You guys out there say, I can't get a girlfriend. You know, you're competing with every other guy out there. You better be bringing something to the table. But it's nearly impossible now for guys to even talk to girls, because we're going to explain that later on. Let's get back to the labor shortage. Number 2, the big cause of the labor shortage is unearned income tax credit. There's a lot of tax credit floating around that people didn't earn. They're getting more money back than what they paid in. That's unearned income tax credit. And that's about half the American population, actually. Half the American population doesn't even pay a federal income tax. You can look that up, too. If you think I'm making that up, look it up. Look at your own income taxes. You get more back than you paid in, then you're not paying anything. You say the rich don't pay anything. You're the one that's not paying anything. Look at your own income taxes. Number 3, the enhanced unearned income tax credit, which is going to start in July. So if you think there is a labor shortage now, you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till July gets here, when these women are going to start getting $3,600 per child. Per child, mind you. So if you got 2-3 kids, that's $10,000.
Yep.
Unearned income tax credit. It's $3,600 enhanced on top of the unearned income tax credit they were already getting. Okay? You can look this up. You can Google it. If you don't believe me, you can Google search anything I'm telling you. Number 4, enhanced unemployment. Depending on what state, some it's $300 a week, some it's $400 a week. You can look that up too. Regardless of which is $300 or $400, it still comes out the same. There's no incentive to go to work. So you got this extended, enhanced unemployment floating around out there as well. Now, none of this stuff existed a year ago. Okay, none of it. Number 5, rent moratoriums. There's certain states, certain cities where you don't have to pay rent. I don't think Missouri falls under that. I think you got to pay rent here. I think
so, because I pay my rent.
I think you do. I'll check around. I'll ask a few more questions. If you live in Missouri, are we under a rent moratorium? Because I think it goes by state and county. So I think in Greene County there's no moratorium, so you have to pay. But it's still bad. It's still bad. So you got the rent moratorium. Okay, that's adding to the problem. And then you're going to add another problem called OnlyFans and TikTok. They're both connected. They're using TikTok to lead you to OnlyFans or whatever website they're using. There's lots of copycat sites out there besides OnlyFans. There's like a dozen other sites copycatting it. What these girls do is they go online and they show off their body. They sell their bodies online. You can't blame the girls. I'm all for entrepreneurship, capitalism. Matter of fact, it's a lot safer for these girls to do that than to prostitute themselves in person and risk getting beat up and risk all kinds of things, getting disease. With OnlyFans, there's no risk. You don't get STDs, you don't get pregnant, you don't get beat up. There's no risk.
Right.
They go online, it's easy money, and these pathetic simps, these weak men, send them money. When if they want to see porn, they can go on Pornhub and get it for free. I don't understand that, guys. I don't understand. If you can go on Pornhub and get it for free, why are you going to these other sites and paying for it? I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's because the way they do it on OnlyFans and sites like them is what happens is, let's say my name is Tom. So I'll go on OnlyFans and I'll subscribe to this girl like you do on Patreon, and I'll give her $10 a month. Okay? So for $10 a month, I get exclusive content to this young lady. All right? So then I go and I get this exclusive content. Then if I want more on top of that, she's going to sell me tokens. Hearts, rainbows, cherries, unicorns, whatever those tokens. You got to buy tokens, okay? So you're going to be spending even more money. You're paying a subscription fee, plus you're buying tokens. You're sending them gifts and all kinds of stuff, just so they can say your name. I'll go on OnlyFans and say, "Hi, Tom. How you doing today? Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom, for those cherries. Thank you for the sunshines. Thank you, Tom." And she'll talk to you like a real person and acknowledge you.
For 5 minutes of fame.
For 5 minutes of fame. And that's what you're getting on OnlyFans. 5 minutes of fame. That's what you're getting. So, all these things put together are the reason we are having a labor shortage here in the Ozark. This is my YouTube version. Our Spotify version, Sandra and I just recorded, and it's more in-depth than this version will probably be, because I don't want to look down on my tablet and be reading comments. If you want to hear all the comments that people said, go to Spotify, because on that version, we do read the comments.
Yes.
This version is for YouTube, so it's short, sweet, and to the point.
Yes.
And like I said, that is the reason for the labor shortage. And starting in July, they're going to get $300 to $600 a month per child. It's supposed to be spent out over 6 months. It's $3,600 per child, but when I divide that by 6, it comes to $600. And the article says they're getting $300, but someone's not getting their math right.
Yep.
So no matter how you look at it, they're getting $3,600 per child. Period. Okay? That starts in July. Not $3,600 a month, $3,600 divided over 6 months. They're going to get that every month. Every month. And that just adds to the problem. Now you're going to go, how does this affect men and dating? Well, think about this. A lot of those females are single mothers. So if the females are getting validation from social media, Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans, TikTok, they're getting plenty of validation from all these pathetic, weak men. I call them simps. And I don't care if YouTube censors that word. I don't give a shit, because I'm self-funded. So censor away. Anyway, they're just getting all this from weak men. And I just don't know what else to say. This could affect the dating market, because the women will go, we don't need men. We don't need men. What do we need you guys for? They're getting plenty of validation from social media. They're getting plenty of money from OnlyFans, from guys who send them money and free gifts.
Yes.
So guys can't bring anything to the table. We can't say, I'd like to take you out to dinner. Can't do that. They got plenty of money. We can't bring our paychecks and our resources to the table, because they got that already. And then they're getting plenty of validation. So what could I possibly bring to the table? And it's not, and it's causing what I call an incel problem in the United States of America. I just turned 54, some of another generation, but we've got this growing incel problem spreading across the country. A lot of guys can't get women because the women say we don't need men. They don't need men because they're on OnlyFans, they're on social media, and they're getting plenty of validation. Now, I just talked to you why there's a labor shortage, and it's connected to the dating pool, because the women are getting all this stimulus money and this extra earned income tax credit on top of the tax credits they were already getting. I mean, why do they need a man? Why? I mean, they don't need men. I mean, think about it. They don't. The women just don't need men at all. So, what could a man possibly bring to the table? There's not much. I mean, if you think about it, men are out of the loop. A lot of young men can't even get started. I'm 54. At least I have a track record that a woman can look at and she go, well, he took good care of Nicole. He's obviously a good husband. So they don't have to ask that question. But the younger guys who are behind me, they don't even have that. They don't have a track record. And the girls won't even give them a chance. They'll give someone like me a chance, someone who's already been tested, tried, and proven. I have nothing to prove. I'll have a better chance than the younger guys will. It's not supposed to be possible for me to date anyone under the age of 30. But another problem is happening making it easier for me to date girls that young. What's happening is too many guys, even in that age bracket, are morbidly obese. They're living at home with their mommies. They play video games all day, drink beer, eat pizza.
Don't work.
And they don't have jobs. They don't work. And they bring absolutely nothing to the table at all. They won't get a job. They won't go to work. And they wonder why girls don't talk to them. And they say, Jeremiah, you're too old to be dating girls that young. I said, why are you getting them? I said, well, because you guys are playing video games. You guys are laying around doing nothing. But I've got a track record already. I've already established myself. I've already been on social media for over 10 years. My YouTube channel is over 10 years old. I've got myself established. These young guys, they can't even do that. They can't get established. They can't get out of the gate even. I feel bad for them because there's, but women in my age bracket are morbidly obese and they've got attitudes and that's just not attractive. But the younger guys, they don't have jobs. And there are jobs out there. Guys, there are jobs out there to be had. Go to work. Get a job. There's more jobs right now than people to fill them. I just talked about the labor shortage. And these employers are paying $14, $15 an hour. They're getting competitive just to get people in the door. So the first step is to get a job. Have your own place. Have a car. I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. Get healthy. Get in shape. Remember, you are competing with every other guy out there. I know that. I know I'm competing with every other guy out there. I expect to compete. If you guys can't get in the game, I don't know what to tell you. But the problem that the guys are having, and I'll say this again, they can't even get out of the gate. They can't even get a girl to talk to them because they're already being validated on OnlyFans. I feel bad for them. I really do. I feel like there's nothing that a young man can bring to the table anymore. They can't bring anything to the table because of the labor shortage and all this government money floating around out there. Like I said, the housing market has gone nuts. Why would you pay above asking price for a house? Why would you pay full sticker price for a car? Even the cars are going this way, the way houses are going. And in all this money is what's happening. Economics 101, you got too much money chasing too few goods and services. And that's exactly what's happening. If you've been to the grocery store lately, keep track of it. Gas prices are going up too. There was one gas station that's almost $3 a gallon out here.
Yes, there is.
And it's getting closer to $3. It's going to hit $4. I think by July we could see $4 a gallon. And that's not unrealistic here in the Ozarks. And we have the cheapest gas prices in the whole country. We have the best cost of living in the entire nation here. So if affordable housing disappears in the Ozarks, it's going to disappear everywhere. Everywhere.
That's true.
Because we have the best cost of living. We have the best tax rates. Businesses love coming here. We're a red state. We have a lot of freedoms. We're not bogged down under socialism here. I mean, you go to New York City, that mayor's in trouble. That Governor Cuomo, he's in trouble. And even the governor of California is in a lot of trouble. He's got his problems too. But people are going to go where they can be free. That's just a fact. Masking ordinances are being lifted everywhere.
Right.
We just came from AT&T. They weren't wearing masks, and nobody cares anymore. I mean, it's happening everywhere. That's another subject entirely. I got to stay on the topic of the labor shortage and why we're having it. I just explained all the reasons why, and it's all mixed together. I mean, the $400 a week in unemployment, the rent moratoriums, so they're not paying rent. They're on OnlyFans. They are getting unearned income tax credit, not one, but two of them. They're getting their regular tax credits, and they're going to get an enhanced tax credit. Okay? You add all that to the mix, along with all that stimulus and unemployment and free rent, and you just put all that together, and it's a bad mix. And that's why we can't find help. Nobody wants to work. Everybody says, I need a living wage. I won't work unless I get a... Well, if you want a living wage, get the skills to get a living wage. There's plenty of living wage jobs out there. There's plenty of corporations that will pay you 6 figures. Yes, but you got to have the skill to get it. I know plumbers that need plumbers. We need electricians. We need drywallers. We need roofers. Even in the trades, there is a serious labor shortage. And that is why housing prices are going up, because we can't build houses fast enough. We don't have laborers to build the houses. We don't have laborers to produce the lumber to build the houses, and that's why lumber's going up. Groceries are going up because we don't have laborers to work the fields at the farms to grow the food. We can't pick the food. We can't process the food because there's no laborers to process the food. They've got a labor shortage, so the food's not getting processed. We've got a labor shortage. We can't get truck drivers out there to deliver the food to the local grocery stores. We've got a labor shortage. We don't have employees to stock the shelves at Walmart and your grocery store. Someone has to stock the shelves. Someone has to grow the food. Someone has to ship the food. Someone has to process the food. And every step of the way, we have to have laborers. That is how this economy works. But we've got another problem causing a labor shortage, and that is the obesity epidemic. That is also playing a factor in the crisis that we are having. Take a look around. Google search it. If you don't believe me, open up your eyeballs, go to your local grocery store, and take a look around. And there are too many obese Americans. Obese, not 20 or 30 pounds overweight, obese. There is a difference. I think the obesity rate is like 50% of the American population now.
I think you're right.
50% across the board, all age brackets. Half the country is obese, not overweight, obese. And so I'm probably 15, 20 pounds over what I should be, but I'm not obese. And I'm working on it. I'm trying my best to maintain my weight, keep it under control, because I'm 54. And in my age bracket, it's really bad. Matter of fact, my last medical checkup, my doctor said, you're 54, you're in really good health. I said, yeah, I'm really good. My complexion's good because I've worked indoors most of my life. So that's why I've got a good complexion. You look at my hands. I mean, how old are you? I mean, if you used to look at my hands, most people would say you're 35. I mean, look at these hands. Okay? How old would you say I was based on these hands? 35 to 40, right? Just based on the condition of my hands. But I'm not. I'm actually 54. I have a birth certificate. I can prove it. Sandra back there can confirm. I'm actually in my 50s.
You just had your birthday not long ago.
Yeah. I had my 54th birthday. So you got to stay healthy. I'm 54. I'm on no medications. I am not obese. A little overweight, but not morbidly obese. I'm 5'9". I probably weigh 175. I just got on the scale. I weigh 175. So, and I'm up 5'8", 5'9". So my BMI is probably 25, almost 26. So I'm not at the obesity point, but I'm just probably 20 pounds over what I should be. But if I work on it, I can shed those 20 pounds, tone up a little bit, spend a few days going to the gym, going for walks, watching my diet, drink water instead of soda. I can get my weight down to probably 155 to 160, where it probably should be. But I'm not 100 pounds over, am I, Sandra?
No.
No. If you look, you'd notice if I was 100 pounds over. You would see it in my chins, and you'd already see it. I'm pretty healthy for my age. In my age bracket, I'm probably the upper 5% of the male population, health-wise. The fact that I'm not morbidly obese, I'm not on any kind of medication, I have no health issues, I'm not diabetic, I don't fall into any of those categories. None. So, I don't know what to tell you. So, the obesity epidemic is also adding to the labor shortage. Too many Americans are unhealthy to go to work. Employers don't want them because they're an insurance liability. You're morbidly obese, can't hire you. You smoke. Employers don't want smokers anymore. They'll hire them just to get you in the door. But it comes right down to it. The non-smoker would get the job over the smoker any day of the week. Why? Even where I work, all I hear is, I want smoke break, I want smoke break, can I go smoke? Employers would rather hire non-smokers. They're a lot more productive. That's a fact. That is a fact. Non-smokers are more likely to show up for work. They don't call in as much. There's less drama with them. And they make more money. That's just the way it works. So, again, there's a labor shortage because America's unhealthy. We're also uneducated. What? Yeah. We don't have the proper labor skills in this changing AI environment. We need medical workers. We need nurses. We need tech people. We need people who specialize in technology. We need people with real serious technical skills. So we are lacking in technical skills. Or we're lacking in the trades. We need plumbers, electricians, drywallers, roofers. But that's not cool. It's not cool to get a job in the trades. And guys say girls don't talk to guys who are plumbers. Girls don't date plumbers. Well, they might in the future. Because once these plumbers start making six figures, the girls are going to go, the guy with the skill, he's making six figures. He's a plumber. So the stereotype on that's going to change. Because once girls start figuring out the guys with the skills are the ones making the money, they're going to gravitate to the guys who are out there winning in life. Not to the whopper flopper. I mean, I'm not going to make fun of you if you work at Burger King. At least you have a job. At least you're working. Okay? That's a job. It's something. It's a start. But what else are you doing with your life besides that? Okay? What else are you doing? For me, it's having a podcast on Spotify, having a YouTube channel, doing Facebook Live. I'm building a television studio as I'm trying to improve what I'm doing. I'm also a graphic designer. All the artwork you see back here, I'm responsible for all that. I own all the copyrights and trademarks, and I have lawyers that take care of all that. I'll be setting up a Teespring store, so I'm still checking into that. I really want to do business with a local company here in the Ozarks rather than Teespring. But I can't find one here, so I'm going to have to go with Teespring and set that up. And there's some YouTube tutorials, and I've been watching a few. There's no cost, no barrier to entry there. It costs nothing to set that up. You see YouTubers out there selling t-shirts and stuff, and that's great. But, again, we have a labor shortage because of all the things I just explained. I mean, think about it. Unemployment. Come on, guys. Go to work. Go to work. What's wrong with work? In the good book, it says, if a man does not work, he shall not eat. And that's in the good book. That's in the Bible. That's in the New Testament. So don't say, come to me and say, Jeremiah, that's a Jewish thing. No, it's not. That's in the New Testament. Look it up. The Apostle Paul also said, if a man does not work and provide for his family, he's worse than an infidel. That's in the New Testament as well. So, I didn't want to get religious, but it does say that. Google it. If you don't believe me, look it up. And I just think there's just too much money chasing too few goods and services. So it's going to cause massive inflation. We have a labor shortage across the whole board here. Not just in the trades. We don't have enough truck drivers to deliver the food. We don't have enough people working on the farms to grow the food. We don't have enough people working in the processing plants to process the food, okay, and manufacture it and get it to the truck drivers, to get it to the store shelves. We don't have enough workers to put it on the store shelf. Folks, we have to have workers. That's how the economy works. Go to work. Get a job. Get off your lazy derriere and go to work. You want to better yourself. You want to make money. Go to work. Nothing wrong with work. Good old-fashioned work. Even having a television studio like I got, I mean, that's a lot of work behind the scenes you don't see. Joe Rogan, you say, well, he doesn't work. Oh, yes, he does. He works every day. He's got 15 people working behind the scenes you don't see. There's more to podcasting than getting in front of this microphone. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. There's a lot of hardware and software you have to have. You're going to have a written business plan because I didn't have one for the longest time for this YouTube channel, but now I've got one. And I have to come up with enough content to keep this YouTube channel going. Okay, because in the past I've had it for over 10 years. And I'll admit, I didn't have a written business plan like I do now. Now everything's changed. I've got an episode guide that I'm going by. I'm writing down episode ideas. And I'm writing everything down. And now I've got a plan. So you're going to start seeing more YouTube videos. This is made hard copy on, because it's not a live stream deal. I prefer hard copy. I know a lot of YouTubers like to do live stream events. I may do that later on once I'm finished with my studio and I've downloaded all the new software and I'm able to do more tricks like having guests appear like you see other YouTubers do. They have multiple screens and stuff like that. So I'm going to have all that capability, but I have the hardware to do it. You know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes you don't see. You can't do all that with the smartphone. You'll have to have a good desktop computer with serious applications, or at least a good laptop with a lot of applications on there to do the things you got to be able. That's not cheap. It costs thousands of dollars to set that up. So, yeah, there is a barrier to entry. All this, that's my product. It's going to take a while to get the website built, but I can operate a Teespring store while I wait for the website to be built and make money from Teespring. Then get the website done, make money off of it, and have a streams of revenue as well as my regular day job. And I love to work. I've always taken care of myself. But folks, you got to work. There's a reason why we have a labor shortage. Again, rent moratoriums, what's that all about? And one of these days, you're going to have to pay the rent. You're going to have to pay the mortgage. There's a mortgage moratorium as well. One day, these moratoriums are going to come to an end. They have to. They have to come to an end. They just do. You're going to pay rent to somebody. You're either going to pay it to your landlord or you're going to pay it to the bank. Either way, you're going to pay. There's no way out of it. You're behind on your rent, you will pay.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it, you're going to pay. And you're going to wish you had paid all that time during the moratorium. Well, it just means I get free. No, it doesn't. If the bank takes control of it, and they have a lot more power than your landlord will, they will come after you. I promise you. They're going to make you pay. They'll garnish your wages. They're going to come after you in every way they can. You either pay the landlord or you pay the international banking cartel. One of the two, either way, you pay. No way out of paying rent. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry about that. And these stimulus money is going to end because the economies are opening back up. There's no reason to send out more stimulus money. I know Bush did that one time. He sent everybody $600. Remember that?
I remember.
And that was a one-time deal. He didn't do that again, did he?
Nope.
That was a one-time deal. That was it. I don't recall if there was writ moratoriums back then.
I don't remember.
If there was, again, that was very short term, and you had to pay it. Again, Bush did this, but he didn't do it on the extreme that Biden and Trump have done it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trump's just as guilty because he got it all going too. So it's like, it's bad. Their labor shortage is the whole country, every industry. It's not just the hospitality industry, it's everything across the board. I'm finding stories of farmers who can't get people to pick the crops. Again, we have to have laborers. We have to have workers. Go to work. Get a job. And to the incel community, how does this tie in? To them, go to work. You got it. To you guys out there, because women say we don't need a man. You got all these single moms. I think all these programs, if you look at them, a lot of them are designed around single mothers. And we're just enabling them. And now they're saying they don't need a man. Because we're giving them free stuff. Free stuff. It's making people who go to work look like fools. And they're getting frustrated at all the lazy bums who sit around, do nothing, and make more money than people who are working. And that's not right. But the big guy up there has his own justice system. And for thousands of years, it has always worked. Mm-hmm. Always. For thousands of years. His system has been tested and tried. I don't mean to go spiritual on you, but it's a fact. Some point, you're not going to kick the can down the road. The buck has to stop. At some point, Almighty God's going to say, you're going to have to work. You want to eat? Want to put food on the table? Go to work. He created the universe this way. At some point, even the big guy up there is going to say, enough is enough.
Yep, he is.
And that's it. By the sweat of our brow, we're supposed to work. Now, for all you Christians out there, this is what your Bible is saying. So don't tell me, Jeremiah, that's this. How can you say that? You're out of touch. No, I'm telling you what the good book says. That Bible you love so much, that's exactly what it says. You don't have to like it. It's too bad. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it for this YouTube podcast. This is hard copy, so there's no live guests, no comments coming in. Sometimes you just got to do a hard copy. This way I can stay focused on what it is I got to say. And hopefully I've said plenty. And I'm hoping that some of the other YouTubers who might catch this, I'll try to tag some of them so they can give their input on what the things I've said and give their version of what's going on out there. What's going on in the labor market? Why is there such a shortage? I just explained why. And we have to have laborers. You got all these government programs between unemployment and stimulus, and then you got OnlyFans adding to the mix. It's just a bad mix. None of this existed a year ago. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This is my first YouTube video in several months, and I hope I can start putting YouTube videos on a regular basis. I could do a whole series just on this topic alone on the labor shortage. I could just run video after video just on this topic alone. But I think I've said what I had to say. So thank you.